Hello everybody, I'm Dan. Welcome to my Java tutorial series. Throughout my tutorials I will teach you Java using just Notepad and the command prompt. The order in which my tutorials are organized on both my website at javacjava.com and my YouTube playlist is designed to maximize learning by building on concepts from prior tutorials. This tutorial is about the insert method in the StringBuilder class. I'm going to open up my web browser to my website, javacjava.com, select begin. I'm going to scroll all the way down here to the StringBuilder insert method. Now in this tutorial I will talk about the insert method. The insert method inserts the value of the parameter into the value of the current StringBuilder object at a specified position. There are a dozen overloaded versions of the insert method that will allow you to pass in quite a few data types. For example, the insert method, this particular one with this signature, method signature looks like this, right? And then it's got an int offset parameter and then a string parameter here. So if we just do StringBuilder SB, all right, StringBuilder type SB reference variable equals a new instance of basically a StringBuilder object. We pass it the string literal here, right? So we'll have a string object that contains that particular value there. And then if we use the SB reference variable, the dot operator, to invoke the insert method at position number 4, index number 4, and then we put in the string literal ABC. Okay. And if we display SB to the console, it'll say 0, 1, 2, 3, ABC, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the offset parameter is the index of the character sequence of the current StringBuilder object. The insertion will take place after the character specified by the offset. So in this case, 4 tells the method to insert the string parameter after the character located at the 4th index. Now remember, indexes start off at the number 0, right? Okay, and that's actually why I've chose this string, and I'll be doing that a lot with this particular string up here in my tutorial here, because you know this particular character here, 0, is actually at the 0 index, right? 1 is at the 1 index, and so on and so forth. So it'll just make it easier to understand this. You can also think of this as another way, as like, okay, if you specify the number 4 here, you're going to have at least 4 characters of the original string present before the insertion occurs. Okay, so that's another way to think of it there. So if you attempt to insert something at an invalid offset, the method will throw a StringIndexOutOfBoundsException. So if we like said, this of course is 10 characters long. So if we said string insert like 12, right, you're going to get a StringIndexOutOfBoundsException thrown there on that. Okay. All right, so notice that the insert method changed the value or the state of the StringBuilder object from this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 0, 1, 2, 3, ABC, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 without reassigning the SB reference variable to a new object. Now this is because StringBuilder objects are mutable, meaning the value of a StringBuilder object can be changed. If you are unfamiliar with the difference between mutable and immutable objects, please watch my StringBuilder introduction tutorial. I'll do a little bit of explaining in that. I also have in my part 1, 2, and 3 of my string class there too. I also go into a great amount of detail on what a mutable object specifically is there. So, of course, the string class is a mutable object, whereas StringBuilder is immutable. And here's just a following list of the various overloaded versions of the insert method. And I'm going to go over each and every one of these, so we'll just quickly move the mouse over that. But in the source code, I'm going to go through each one of those, giving an example on that. And there's a couple of them on like this one right here, this one here, this one here. And then of course the object one right here. Those are interesting. Everything else is fairly simple and straightforward, but I'll go over each one of those there. Okay, let's come down here to the source code, highlight all this stuff. Control C to copy, or right click and select copy. All right, I'm going to move my browser off screen here. I've got a shortcut to the command prompt on my desktop, but if you don't, you can create one really fast by right clicking, selecting new shortcut, CMD next, and finish. It's just that easy. All right, let's go and open that up, type in Java C. Java C is a Java compiler command. You should see all this stuff scroll by. Now, if you receive an error message, watch my tutorial on installing the Java Development Kit. You'll make sure you get that installed and configured properly before continuing. CLS to clear the screen, CD space /, CD is short for change directory, and / tells it to go to the root. Now I'll make a directory here with the MD command called Java. And I already have a Java folder, but if you don't, it'll create one for you. Make a directory here, and I'm just going to call this StringBuilder insert. Okay, CD, and I'll hit tab to get that to autofill there. Save some keystrokes. All right, so change directories to the StringBuilder insert folder, and then I'm gonna do a notepad StringBuilder insert.java. Okay, that'll be the name of my source code file there. Let's go ahead and paste this in here. So there's just a single class here. I've got my main method entry point right here. And then I just am, in this particular statement here, I'm creating a new reference variable SB of StringBuilder type and setting that equal to a new StringBuilder object that contains basically this value by invoking the StringBuilder constructor that takes a string as a parameter. All right, and then I'm just going to demonstrate each one of those. So in the first one here, Boolean b equals true, right? And then I'm going to do SB for our reference variable, and then we're going to invoke the insert method, and at offset 3, I'm going to be inserting the Boolean value there, right? And then displaying to the console basically the overloaded method signature here, and equals and then plus whatever that is, right? And then finally I'll just reset the string builder back to, you know, what it is for the next one around. So let's go ahead and just save this and run this here. We'll get a whole bunch of stuff and we'll kind of go through line by line. A lot of this is going to be pretty simple there. Java C to compile and Java to run the Java virtual machine, invoking the string builder insert class. Okay. So there's the first thing that we get. By invoking it at the offset 3, right, which basically, you know, we got 0, 1, 2, right? Those are all labeled there, or think of it as we're going to have 3 of the original string there before it actually inserts true up here, right? And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's pretty simple there. In the next one here, I'm just doing a char $C, $, right? And I'm putting that in at the 8th, right? So basically in that particular case, we're going to have these 8 characters, right? And then, because we're starting with 0, so the 8th, it'll be inserted right here at the end of the index of the 8th character there. And we'll just put in a $, and that's what occurs right up here. So that's all pretty simple right there. Okay, now a character array. There's another simple one here. I'm just initializing C array here to basically this character array that contains these 5 character literals here for hello. And I'm inserting that at position number 5 there. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our 5 characters there, and then hello 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Another way to think of this is we're going to have 5 of our original characters, and then the insertion of this will take place right there, okay? All right, the next one here gets a little interesting there. So they have this labeled out really strange, if you ask me. Let's move this down here, right? They have this labeled out, and these are direct. This is directly from the StringBuilder API up here on Oracle's website here, right? StringBuilder insert in this particular one, you can see destination offset, you know, start and end there on that. So, but basically the oh wait, I'm on the wrong one here. I'm on this one right here. Okay, insert, right? So it's directly from their site as where I got these declarations from. So index, right? And then you see offset over here, right? And then length. So this makes this kind of confusing there, considering offset is the first parameter on all these other ones here for the most part there. And by setting index, so basically it really is, index kind of is the offset of the current string builder object that you're working with here, right? Because in this particular case right here, I'm specifying 5 and then that same hello array. And then let's say, for example, if I want the characters at index number 3, so 0, 1, 2, 3, and then I want the next 2 characters, so that will basically print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is specified by this first parameter here, right? And then we want, from the C array here, we want to grab everything at index number 3, and then we want to grab the next specified number of characters, which is 2 characters, inclusive of the one there, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, and including both of these 2 characters there, we'll basically turn this into 1, 2, 3, 4, and then low 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's the way that one works. So it's a little confusing because they changed the offset here, you know, and so on and so forth. Who knows why they did that, but whatever, right? Okay, the next one's pretty simple here. It is basically just a new string, right? And I'm just making that lowercase java, and I'm inserting that again at index number 5, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And we got 5 characters there, right? And Java right in there, okay? So that's pretty straightforward there. The next one is the string builder. Well, char sequence. Let's go char sequence there. I kind of skipped over some stuff there. So char sequence CS1 equals a new string, right? A char sequence, you can't say like char sequence equals a new char sequence. You might be going, what on earth is a char sequence? Let's say, for example, we try to do this. Char sequence CS1 equals new char sequence Java. Let's just come up here and save this. Let's clear our screen, and let's try to recompile this, all right? We're going to get an error message, right? Char sequence is abstract, cannot be instantiated, right? Okay, that's because char sequence is an interface. It's not actually a class, right? So the only thing that we can assign, let's see. So, but we can create a CS1 reference variable of this interface, and we can assign that to anything that's an instance of the char sequence interface. Let me pull this over here. It might make a little bit more sense, right? So interface char sequence. Here is all of the known implementing classes: char buffer segment, string builder, and string buffer and string builder, right? So we can assign a reference variable to an object of type string or string buffer, string builder, segment, or character buffer. Don't worry about those. The only difference between string buffer and string builder, they're basically identical, right? Only the only difference is that string buffer is thread safe. And I haven't gone into multi-threaded programming yet, so you don't need to worry about that. String builder really is more efficient there. It's faster, and that's even according to the Java documentation there as well. So basically that's what a char sequence is. So when you see that, right, you can basically say new string, right? And that's why on the second char sequence down here, CS2, I chose to actually do a new string builder there, right? Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and save this, recompile it, and we'll get back to where we were before. Oops. I need to compile the Java program, not that. Let's clear our screen, Java, and let's run it. Okay, so we are down at these char sequences one right here, right? And you can see for the first one, I chose to make it assign the CS1 reference variable to a new string object, right? And place that value in there at offset 5, or at index number 5 there, basically, right? Right after index number 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 5 characters there, right? And then basically that right there, okay? And then this one's a little bit more funky, you know. If you think about it, like, oh, maybe it follows the same sort of logic up here. Well, it's completely a little bit different there. Okay, so on this particular version of the overloaded method of insert, there we got an offset, right? Destination offset, and that's essentially the same thing as your ordinary offset, right? And let's pull this down here. So I'm trying to produce the same exact 1, 2, 3, 4, LO, 5, 6, 7, 8 as I did up here with the char array, right? And so basically, by specifying 5 for the first parameter there, that will place it after the 5th character here, right? And then of course this, and then what the 3, 5 does is this is okay. We'll come up to the character at index number 3. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And now 5 here. 5 is kind of funky because basically that is like the ending character, right? Like, so there's 5 characters in here, and then that's like the ending one, you know. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but basically that's the way you did it. If you said, okay, I wanted the one at the index number 3 and the index number 4, right? Then you'll only get, like, for example, just L displayed there, right? If we were to do that, I'll show you this here real quick there. It's so yeah, see right here we got 1, 2, 3, 4 L, right? So it's a little strange. If you ever do end up using this version of the insert one here, I highly recommend toying around with it to make sure your code works properly before actually, you know, actually putting something into production like that. All right, let's get back up to here. Oh, did I save that? I don't think I saved that. All right, so now we've got our strings kind of back here with the LO and everything like that. So that's basically the way this overloaded version of it works. Quite different than this one up here. So the next one's going to be very, very easy. All right, we'll go all the way down here to like this, right? Double. So I got double D, and I'm just going to insert that at basically index 0, right? Which will put this right up here, 777.77, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Float 555. I'm telling it to put it right after character at index 10, right? Which will be 555.55, right? And then this particular int I, I'm just doing 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? And that basically, and putting that at the 4th one there. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And then long here, right? Long, I am just putting this one here after the first character, right? All the way up there, and then that displays that right there. All right, now let's talk about the object, right? Two of the overloaded methods left, and then we're done here. So, the object class. By now you should realize that the object class is kind of the granddaddy of all classes. So it's a superclass basically of every class in, you know, the Java out there, right? And so it whether it's a direct superclass or, you know, up the hierarchy, it doesn't really matter. So I just chose like the null pointer exception class here to make a new null pointer exception, right? And I'm just going to insert that basically after the first 5 characters there, right? And let's go ahead and see what happens on that right there. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then java.lang.null pointer exception. So basically that's what null pointer exception would return back if you know, we were to basically invoke the toString method is what it's doing. It's doing that kind of like behind the scenes there. We could come up here and save this, and it'll produce the exact same results if we compile it and do that, right? So that's basically what it's doing. It's like implicitly invoking the toString method there. Okay, and then the last one here is very simple, just a simple string, right? And inserting that at character 3, my string, and then of course that value is 0, 1, 2, my string, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that is basically the insert method there and all the various different uses of it there. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that, and leave you guys with some final thoughts here. So there will be no string comparisons in this tutorial because, quite frankly, the string class does not have an equivalent insert method. So that concludes this tutorial. Thanks for watching.